For the second episode in a row with Mickey Mouse Works, I'm feeling like they're neglecting Daisy a bit, but now I'm trying to think back to all of the cartoons that were in Disney's House of Mouse, and how many of them actually focused on Daisy. And to be honest, there are not that many of them, and quite often when she does, she's with Donald. So that's something I'm keen to look out for with Mickey Mouse Works and see how much weight they actually give Daisy. But the third episode does have a pretty good mix of cartoons in it. There are 5 in it this time, which is the same as the first episode. The first one is Donald's Dynamite Bowling Alley, which I think is one of my favourite Donald Dynamites. I enjoyed it when I watched it as part of House of Mouse. It's short, it's brief, it's to the point. And for me, it's definitely a positive way to start off this episode. As I've mentioned in previous discussions, I'm just discussing the cartoons as a package, how I feel they fit together as a whole, and of course whether or not my opinions have changed on the cartoons since I first saw them definitely hasn't changed with Donald's Dynamite. I really enjoyed Bowling Alley. Mickey's Airplane Kit is, I think, one of the longest cartoons out of the set, and Mickey decides to try and impress Minnie by making an airplane. And I have to say it's a well animated episode. I do think visually it's quite good. The narrative wasn't as exciting the second time around, but I didn't dislike it. It's nice to have a Minnie and Mickey episode in there, straight off of the back of a Donald one. I think that flows quite nicely. It's also a lot longer. And then we have another short cartoon, Von Drake's House of Genius, Time Reverser. I'm not the biggest fan of this particular House of Genius cartoon. In general, I don't love the House of Genius cartoons. There are a couple that I found quite interesting. This one, not so much, but it's short, it's brief, it's a nice way to break up some of the longer cartoons, and having Von Drake in there as well gives us another character. Then we have one that I actually do love, and this is Turkey Catchers, and this is a Mickey, Donald, and Goofy cartoon. And they have a business where they catch turkeys. It's set around Thanksgiving, and Donald in particular was really great in this one. Again, very well animated, really like the pacing of this one. I enjoyed it as much the second time around. Yes, we've already had a Donald Duck cartoon, but generally, I really enjoyed it. And the last one is Dance of the Goofies, which is about these little fairies who all look like Goofy, and then this human boy comes along and causes problems, and I won't say too much more about it. Visually, it is stunning. The kind of like firefly lights are just absolutely gorgeous, and I think I liked it less the second time around. Visually, I liked it just as much, but the narrative I think got old quite quickly, and once it kind of got past the halfway mark in the cartoon, I kind of started to lose interest. I'm also, I wish that was a Daisy cartoon or a Pluto cartoon because we've already had Goofy in the Mickey, Donald, and Goofy cartoon, so it would have made more sense to put in somebody in the Sensational Six who hadn't appeared in any great detail. So a Daisy cartoon would have been a much better fit. But as I said, now I'm thinking back, I'm not entirely sure how many of those they had to choose from. Nevertheless, it is a good mix of cartoons. There are none of those cartoons that I hate. Time Reverser I didn't love, and the second half of Dance of the Goofies I wasn't a big fan of, but generally speaking, it's a good mix of shorter and some longer cartoons, a relatively decent mix of characters. Obviously having Von Drake in there is a little bit different. It's definitely not my favourite so far of the Mickey Mouse Works, not my favourite package, but obviously I still enjoyed it.